Hello and welcome to Sound Like, where today we're going to look at Supermassive Black Hole. So let's have a look at gear. Well, we're going to kick off with the guitar, which is the Chaos Manson guitar with XY controller for the Chaos pad for the solo. So we're using patch 7 on the looper switcher. Patch A we're not using. Patch B for the overdrive distortion set all the way over to an overdrive tone. Fuzz Factory I don't play for this song. And patch D, which is the big muff, which is for 95% of the time we're using this song, coupled with the whammy, but we'll get into that when we get into pedal cam for the chorus section. Right, pedal cam. Patch B, the signal chain for that is the whammy, overdrive distortion, and phase 90, and the other one, which you're using for the vast majority of the song, is whammy, big muff, and phase 90. Let's look at the opening riff. So we're on D with the big muff on straight away. We're looking at quite a lot of sustain, mainly for quite a lot of drive and bite to it. The tone is set to a position, but it's toggled off, so it doesn't matter at all, and the volume's just about right in the middle. And it sounds like this. As you can tell, it sounds quite fat and big muffy. I mean, there's no other way of describing that one, really. So it sounds perfect for this song. A lot of big, muffly, big muff tones for it. Once upon a time, I did briefly use my Fuzz Factory for that riff, and it sounds like this. Maybe it sounds a lot closer to what the Black Holes of Revelations tour era sounded like, but I much prefer the big muff. There's a bit less noise with it. It's not as bitey at the high end. It's just got a lot of low end grunt to it, and it sounds great. So then, after the intro and all that riff, we then go into the verse. So the one and only time we go on to patch B, and the tone we're getting sounds like this. Tune up a bit. I only really use this section, this sound for the first verse, just to have a bit of tonal difference from coming out of the big riff, and then emphasizes and the kind of the bigger, fatter sounds when the chorus comes in, and so it sounds like this. It's a pretty kind of standard, just overdrive tone. It's very different from the big muff, so I do like to smash those together and get a good contrast between the two. And so when the chorus comes in, it really changes up that tone. We'll just have a bit of a flick between those two sounds. After the verse, naturally comes the chorus, and now we go back over to patch D, and which stays on for the remainder of the song pretty much, but we add in the whammy set to a harmony octave down. I've been doing this for a year or two now, just adding this on, just to really kind of thicken at the lower end, and it really stands out. It really adds a lot of bulk to it, even more so it's taking that huge big muff tone and just adding even more dirt to it, because we've got a lower octave on bolted on top of it, and so it sounds like this. Huge tone from that, and I really like that I've added that in, because it comes on for a specific section. It's not on the entire time. I am controlling it with a bit of MIDI. in my my rig when I just play along to it. It just turns it on, set to an octave lower down, just at the right time when that section comes in. So I just need to hit the right patch button and this at the right time, and this will just automatically come on along with it. It's not because I hit it, it's because I've programmed it to come out of that specific section in the song at the same time where I need to hit this button to get the big muff on. And that's the rest. That's the chorus. The only time when it comes off again is after the first chorus. So the again, it emphasizes that kind of that small breakdown section once again, just to strip the fat tone out of it and then to just go straight back into it. And it comes out again when we just play the riff just before the solo, again just as it was in the intro, which just leaves us with the Chaos Pad solo, which we're going to demonstrate now. So we're using patch 68 on the Chaos Pad, and I team that along with a few random notes on the higher setting on the sustainer, just to add more to that kind of sonic tone, and it sounds a little bit like this. I also used to use patch 75 for this solo again, which is a lot more like the Black Holes Revelations tour era setting, especially around 2007, and it sounds like this. A different solo I also used was actually playing the guitar itself. I know, crazy, actually playing guitar when you've got a guitar. And in this section, I switched the whammy from a harmony octave down to an octave up, just to emphasise the kind of the pops and the squealy noises of the guitar. And it went like this. Very simple, very straightforward. It's actually a little bit reminiscent of a Rage Against the Machine song that I can't quite remember the name of right now. But it's pretty much ripped off of that. And I can't remember if I'm copying it from Matt or if I sort of came up with it myself. I used to play that a long time ago, where I can't quite remember where it originated from. But that's it, and actually that's kind of quite the end of this section. So we're going to go to the outro now. That was Supermassive Black Hole. I hope you enjoyed it. We went through the range of tones we're using. There's not really much of a range, it's just a big muff pedal switching over to a bit of overdrive, and then whacking in a bit of whammy with it. But so it's not rocket science. Again, admittedly, a lot of the kind of the fun aspect is with the Chaos Pad. Again, probably with a bit of the sustainer as well, so not everyone can achieve those tones, but if you've got a whammy pedal, you can certainly do one of the alternative solos I showed you. But the solo section for Supermassive Black Hole offers so many possibilities of sounds that you can play with, and I hope that from what I've shown you, it's given you some idea of what you can do with the effects that you've got, or maybe the effects that you want to get for your own setup. So again, let me know what you thought. I'd love for you to tell me what kind of sounds you're playing with, or what sounds that you want to get, and I look forward to making the next one and seeing you in the next one. Bye.